My name is Ron Wills, and this is the Big Idea podcast powered by the National Association of Business Owners and Entrepreneurs. In this series, we're going to talk about small to mid-sized business challenges to growth. Today's guest is CEO of Capital Concierge, Lynda Ellis. Lynda, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your company?
Thank you, Ron. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I am a serial entrepreneur. Capital Concierge is my third company, and we provide concierge services. And so what does that mean at Capital Concierge? And how are we different? We are different because we do what we say we're going to do when we say we're going to do it. And our service standard is very high. So many people have said to referrals, if you want service, you have to call Capital Concierge. And we do whatever you need us to do. So what does that mean? For all those things that you do on the weekend, whether it's renovating a home or whether it's driving someplace because you've planned a trip, we'll plan your trip, or we'll get your home renovated, or we'll get your lawn mowed. So it's whatever. It's beyond just the flowers, gifts, and tickets that people many times think of concierge is doing, but we're the people who will do whatever you need us to do as long as it's legal and ethical, because we give you back your time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is nice thinking about, here's a company that is geared to getting things done that I need to get done, but I don't have time to get done. So it's kind of, I like the concept. Now, in our discussion, you had mentioned as a challenge to growth is that you're dependent on labor, and you have very, very high standards for that, because you're servicing people's needs, and it's a lot of high touch, discussions with clients and so forth. So you really need to have quality people. Can you tell us a little bit about the issues that you have in hiring quality staff? It's
a challenge because not everyone is a giver. Not everyone wants to have a smile on their face and make your day better when their day isn't good. And that's what we look for. It's all of the things. I was reading this article about soft skills, and what exactly is that? Well, it's your intentionality and being proactive about wishing you, Ron, a great day when my day is horrible. Mm-hmm. It's about saying hello to somebody first before they say hello to you. So when we look for people, and our recruiters, I think I shared with you, it's about 38-1 that they will do interviews to find one person that we will invite to join our team. And I use the word invite specifically. And the reason I say that is because it's got to be right for our employee. It has to be right for our company. So you may want to come to Capital Concierge, and you may think you want to be a concierge, but one of our standards is 100% of 100% of the time. And if you're not willing to sign up to that, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means we're the wrong company for your career. And so we're very selective in our invitation to join our team. And it's one of the reasons why when we do our training, I'm the first one up. I explain what our values are, our mission is. I want our new employees to hear it from the CEO and owner, but also I want to congratulate them, because if we have 10 people in our training, that means that there have been 380 interviews to get to those 10. And so I congratulate them. And I want them to feel like they're valued from the moment they join, because they are. And so that labor, that finding that person who wants to give you something, who wants to do something for you, who is very detail oriented, and who can have a smile on their face when things are going bad personally, is really tough to find.
I was complimenting you in our discussion prior to this podcast about having a few employee tests when they first apply. And it's been a big discussion in my peer groups about testing. And, many think, well, it's going to be your Myers-Briggs or DISC or predictive index, the more of the psychological testing and trait testing and that sort of thing. And that can be extremely valuable. but you actually test just some skills and accuracy. Can you talk about that kind of testing?
Certainly, we look for people, we test for people's ability to communicate from in the written word, because many times they're going to be, you, Ron, want us to plan an anniversary trip for you and your wife. We're going to have to communicate, whether that's email, text, or phone. And we have to find out whether or not you have good grammatical skills, and whether you have the conceptual skills and sometimes the creative skills to write a communication when sometimes you're giving bad news, quote unquote bad news, when it's really good news. You can't get into Belgium right now, Ron, but you could get into Cabo San Lucas as an example. And so we want to know that people can communicate with one another, our clients, with each other, and with people who they're passing, who could be a new client for us.
You know, there's a lot of confusion that arises when, and I've seen this over, so you and I are sort of parallel paths here with having employees that can communicate well. And it's such an important step. And many, if not most employers don't test for communication ability. So I'm thinking that, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen it. I've done this for banks where we've changed how the entire bank communicates to its customer base. So realizing that everybody doesn't have that wonderful skill level that an English major would have. And I've always been jealous of the English majors, but what we would do is have people do everything in bullet points. Well, we've come to the conclusion of our podcast. I want to thank you very much for being with us today. I think it's great advice. It's wonderful to see you're dealing with this challenge of hiring people, but you've put the labor behind it, the capital behind it to make it happen, and you've stuck with this vision that is raising everybody's, I would say, work standard up. Very, very impressive. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Ron. I really enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful day. And for all of your listeners, I hope you have a great and productive week.